Alright, y'all. I'm on the phone with Dre, and I'm asking him where this picture is I've seen of him and if he has it on a digital copy. What's good, y'all? Lonnie Appleton here. If you have a couple of minutes, this is impromptu continuation of Surviving R. Kelly. So anyway, I'm inserting these pictures in this video, and I'm like, man, where's that picture of Dre I saw when he was younger? So I call him up, ask him, does he have a digital copy? He says, no, why? And I was like, because I want to put your picture in my Surviving R. Kelly video. And he was like, hell no, you ain't gonna put my picture in no Surviving R. Kelly video. And I was like, no, it's not in that context. So I explained to him the context, and he's like, yeah, that's cool. And he was just like, man, I could never pee on somebody. I don't know what this hair is doing. It's been under a hat all day, but I made an attempt to comb it, y'all. For all y'all who be talking about me and my hat, there's y'all's Gumby. Anyway, so he's like, man, I don't understand how somebody could pee on somebody. I don't understand how you get off on that. And I was like, I don't know either, but I bet you I could get you to pee on me. And he's like, nah, I wouldn't pee on you. I was like, I bet you I could get you to pee on me. Like, we are going back and forth on whether or not I could get this man to pee on me. Like, the ridiculousness of our competitions, right? But then after we go back and forth, and I realize the absurdity of the fact that I'm trying to convince my husband that I can get him to pee on me. It is then I realized, you know what, it's not even about, because he was like, how can you even get off to that? I was just like, that's not what they're getting off to. I was like, it's control. And everybody always says control, but nobody really elaborates. But I was thinking, and I was like, it's to control. Like, my husband told me, the man that I know will die for me. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he will die for me. This man that will die for me will not allow me to convince him to pee on him. But this R. Kelly dude has so much power and so much control that he convinces otherwise heterosexual men to allow him to penetrate them. Like, let's really think about that. He convinces people to smear excrement all over their face and eat it. What level of power is that? That's how these people turn into these demons. They don't start out that way. But as they gain so much power, like, we're looking at the surface, but this is really what's happening right in front of us. How do you have that much power that you bring a person to the point where you can urinate in their mouth? And that's what he's getting off on. Damn, y'all, I just had a shitty bitch moment. What's good, y'all? Lonnie Appleton here, and I just had a I'm a shitty bitch moment. And please don't come on here telling me pay attention to what you're calling yourself. I'ma call a thing, and I have been a shitty bitch in the past. This is Dre's Foot Locker. Y'all see how nice and organized everything is? I'm even violating my husband's privacy because I'm choosing to without conferring with him first. So I'm having a shitty bitch moment right now. But I'm going to assume my husband's going to respond the way that my husband always responds to everything, so it's okay. Even though it might not be okay, but I won't know for about 6 years from now. So I'm okay with doing what I believe to be okay, and I'll apologize in 6 years. But what I wanted to talk about is when we first moved into this house, I was terrible. That man loves me, y'all. I owe him an apology. When we first moved into this house, I had the spirit of renewal on me, and so I called myself cleaning out all the clutter. I am not moving things from our past into another house. Dre, you have been carrying these boxes since I've known you. So since 2010, you have been carrying these boxes. It's time for you to drop your bag, lady. And so I clean up everything. I find stuff. And I think he got mad at me without telling me he was mad at me for sharing his business. But I will say I found things from when he was in college and he was 18 when he went to college. So I cleaned all that stuff out. And I called myself doing him a solid, helping release him from his past, carrying things that do not serve him. Y'all know all the things that we tell ourselves that we're helping somebody do. But he didn't ask me to do that. And now that I just opened this trunk, that ain't shit bitch slapped me in the face. And it said, you threw away that man's history. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand moments and memories. Now, y'all know I'm all about the memories, you know what I'm saying? But at the time that I did that, I didn't understand that. And I threw away that man's history. And it doesn't matter if that history existed before me. We trying to erase somebody's past just because we're in their lives now. What kind of trauma did that do to him? And I just was like, man, and when I laughed about his feelings, man, he loves me, y'all. What's good? Lonnie Appleton here. If you have a couple of minutes, I am just really coming to a space of revelation about my husband. And so it's kind of a ramble because I'm thinking about how obnoxious I really am. Like in the eyes of how a black woman, how a black man feels a black woman should act, I don't act nothing like her. And I know a lot of his family members, I know a lot of his friends don't like me because I am not your typical black woman. And for Dre to tolerate what probably at some level in him, because that's what he was raised in, in some aspects he is this is how I was raised Dre. But in dealing with me, he bends all the rules. He lets me talk to him anyway, and I don't talk to him stupid. I'm not her. But the way that I talk in videos, like, it's funny, haha, but in my past, I've watched our older videos, and I still have them in drafts. I have like 200 older. I have unedited old video. So when I drop something and you're like, it's contradictory to the space I'm in, it's because it's from a draft, and I'm publishing drafts. But I've listened to older videos, and I was like, yeah, it was said in ha he he. But on more than one occasion, Dre has told me when I go for the head and go for the jugular, I go for the head and I go for the jugular. Like, I'm a verbal spar, you know? I'm not going to give up. But I'm doing this to the man that I say that I love. Bars. So I am wrestling verbally the man that I love down until I have him in a headlock. And he's just gonna let me win. And what does that do to him on the other side? And I am thankful to God that I have a man that is secure enough in himself, or, I always thought it was security, which it is, but also he's been traumatized so much that my level of abuse, because how I have spoken to him is abuse, is nothing compared to what he's used to. Damn. I felt that shit in the pit of my stomach when that one came to me. And I feel terrible. Because he's referred to me, man, you remind me of my grandmother. And I told him, I was like, I have yet to hear a positive story about your grandmother. And I never internalized that until now. I remind him of a woman I have never heard a positive story about.